All right. Hold on. There we go. Yes. All right. Oh boy. Well, hello everyone. Hello. I'm here to be tortured. So, this has been a year in the making. Yeah, actually, over a year in the making. Gulf City Fried Supremacists paid for this book a long time ago. And I have not been able to get to it. So, here we are. I am... Oh, God. So, Yes, we are really doing this. Alright, so before we get started, let's say hello to people in the chat, shall we? Pen is first, so she got to wait the longest. How's it going, Pen? Are you still causing trouble on the Twitter sphere? I bet you are. Sparky is here. How's it going, Sparkster? Detlaf. I'm just going to call you Det. How's it going, Det? First time I've seen you in the chat. Mitzi's here. Hello, Mitzi. Ray, how's it going? Big T is here. Ben C is here. Of course he is, because, cringe. So why not? Miffed Cuddlefish, how's it going? And Gulf City's Fright Supremacist. Cosmic Dork Den, how's it going? Caesar, nice to see you. Yes, 50 Shades of Gay. It definitely is going to be gay. So it goes, half of what I am. Damn Alien, how's it going? Det says his body is ready. I hope it is, because I am not. Yes, I did enjoy sleeping in. As you all know, there is no more Caffeinated to die, so Sparky and I both got to sleep in. And then Internet Feline, how's it going? And Big T. Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that, Big T. Have to jump in on some of your streams then and see what's going on. So, I have in my hands an actual paperback copy of 50 Shades of Grey by E.L. James. Now, for those of you who have not heard of this book, I don't know what rock you've been living under for the last, 5-6 years. But here we are. I may be burning it. Afterwards. So, there's that. I'm going to turn on some background music for you guys. I actually found 3. I found the trilogy without the paperback, without the pages being stuck together. So, there's that. After I'm done reading this garbage, then yes, I will probably be burning it. So this is for Gulf City Fright Supremacists. I apologize. It has taken this long. I really do. I appreciate you sticking with me and not giving up, I guess you could say. And I hope you enjoy the cringe, because it's going to be there. So let's get started. Chapter 1. I scowled with frustration at myself in the mirror. Damn my hair. It just won't behave. And damn Catherine Kavanagh for being ill and subjecting me to this ordeal. I should be studying for my final exams, which are next week. Yet here I am trying to brush my hair into submission. I must not sleep with it wet. I must not sleep with it wet. Reciting this mantra several times, I attempt, once more, to bring it under control with the brush. I roll my eyes in exasperation and gaze at the pale, brown-haired girl with blue eyes too big for her face, staring back at me, and give up. My only option is to restrain my wayward hair in a ponytail and hope that I look semi-presentable. So, I don't know if any of you know this. This book, like I said, if if you don't know about this book, where have you been, is actually a fan fiction of Twilight that someone wrote, and they decided to turn it into an actual book. And I'm subjecting all of you to it, so have fun. Kate is my roommate, and she has chosen today, of all days, to succumb to the flu. Therefore, she cannot attend the interview she'd arranged to do, with some mega industrialist tycoon I've never heard of, for the student newspaper. So I've been volunteered. I have final exams to cram for, and one essay to finish. And I'm supposed to be working this afternoon. But no, today I have to drive 165 miles to downtown Seattle in order to meet this enigmatic CEO of Grey Enterprises Holdings Incorporated, as an exceptional entrepreneur and major benefactor of our university. His time is extraordinarily precious, much more precious than mine, but he has granted Kate an interview. A real coup, she tells me. Damn her extracurricular activities. Start selling cucumbers for $5 each. You know, while I'm only going to be reading for an hour, so there's that, I may put up a donation goal or something like that for if you want me to read this in ASMR, go ahead and donate. But I will figure that out next time I get. Kate is huddled on the couch in the living room. Anna, I'm sorry. It took me 9 months to get this interview. It will take another 6 to reschedule, and we'll both have graduated by then. As the editor, I can't blow this off. Please. Kate begs me in her rasping, sore throat. If she can't blow it off, and she's not going, that means she's blowing it off. This in ASMR will require an in-house chiropractor. You're not wrong. How does she do it? Even ill. She looks gamine and gorgeous. Strawberry blonde hair in place and green eyes bright, although now red-rimmed and runny. I ignore my pang of unwelcome sympathy. Of course I'll go, Kate. You should get back to bed. Would you like some NyQuil or Tylenol? This stream is not sponsored by either. NyQuil, please. Here are the questions and my digital recorder. Just press record here. Make notes. I'll transcribe it all. I know nothing about him, I murmur, trying and failing to suppress my rising panic. The questions will see you through. Go! It's a long drive. I don't want you to be late. No, Ben, you did not hear donate for more cringeworthy books. If you want to, you have your Riley Dennis books that I know you want me to read. If you want to donate for me to do like a chapter in ASMR or something like that, wait until I do this next time, and then we can see how much an ASMR or something like that'll be, and I can make everyone in the chat just break their own backs. Okay, I'm going. Get back to bed. I made you some soup to heat up later. I stare at her fondly. Only for you, Kate, would I do this. You'll wait for the rally. Oh, God. Masturbate theatre. Yeah, well, we haven't gotten that far yet, Ray. I will. Good luck. And thanks, Anna. As usual, you're my lifesaver. Gathering my backpack, I smile wryly at her, then head out the door to the car. I cannot believe I have let Kate talk me into this, but then Kate can talk anyone into anything. She'll make an exceptional journalist. She's articulate, strong, persuasive, argumentative, beautiful, and she's my dearest friend. And someone really likes their thesaurus. The roads are clear as I set off from Vancouver, Washington, towards Interstate 5. It's early, and I don't have to be in Seattle until 2 this afternoon. Fortunately, Kate has lent me her sporty Mercedes CLK. I'm not sure Wanda, my old VW Beetle, would make the journey in time. Oh, the Merc is a fun drive, and the miles slip away as I hit the pedal to the metal. My destination is the headquarters of Mr. Gray's global enterprise. It's a huge 20-story office building, all curved glass and steel, an architect's utilitarian fantasy, with Grey House written discreetly in steel over the glass front doors. It's 1:45 when I arrive, greatly relieved that I'm not late as I walk into the enormous and frankly intimidating glass, steel, and white sandstone lobby. Behind the solid sandstone desk, a very attractive, groomed, blonde young woman smiles pleasantly at me. She's wearing the sharpest charcoal suit jacket and white shirt I have ever seen. She looks immaculate. That's because in the original telling of this story, she was a vampire. I'm here to see Mr. Gray, Anastasia Steele, for Catherine Kavanagh. Excuse me, one moment, Miss Steele. She arches her eyebrow and I stand self-consciously before her. I'm beginning to wish I borrowed one of Kate's formal blazers rather than worn my navy blue jacket. I have made an effort and worn my one and only skirt, my sensible brown knee-length boots, and a blue sweater. For me, this is smart. I tuck one of the escaped tendrils of my hair behind my ear as I pretend she doesn't intimidate me. Miss Kavanagh is expected. Please sign in here, Miss Steele. You'll want the last elevator on the right. Press for the 20th floor. She smiles kindly at me, amused no doubt, as I sign in. She hands me a security pass that has visitor very firmly stamped on the front. I can't help my smirk. Surely it's obvious that I'm just visiting. I don't fit in here at all. Nothing changes, I inwardly sigh. Thanking her, I walk over to the bank of elevators and past the two security men who are both far more smartly dressed than I am in their well-cut black suits. Well, that's what happens when you work for a multi-million-dollar company and you're, security. You have to look nice. That's why I don't work security anymore. The elevator whisks me at terminal velocity to the 20th floor, which really doesn't take all that long. 20 floors is not that big. Now, if it was a 75-story building, that's a little different. Or if it was the Sears Tower, then that elevator would be pretty fast. This is only 24 floors. We've all been in a building with 20 floors. Doesn't take that long. The doors slide open, and I'm in another large lobby. Again, all glass, steel, and white sandstone. I'm confronted by another desk of sandstone and another young blonde woman, this time dressed impeccably in black and white, who rises to greet me. Yes, Ray, I know these. Miss Steele, could you wait here, please? She points at a seated area of white leather chairs. Behind the leather chairs is a spacious, glass-walled meeting room with an equally spacious dark wood table and at least 20 matching chairs around it. Beyond that, there is a floor-to-ceiling window with a view of Seattle skyline that looks out through the city towards the Sound. It's a stunning vista, and I'm momentarily paralyzed by the view. Wow. I sit down, fish the questions from my backpack, and go through them, inwardly cursing Kate for not providing me with a brief biography. I know nothing about this man I'm about to interview. He could be 90 or he could be 30. The uncertainty is galling and my nerves resurface, making me fidget. I've never been comfortable with one-on-one interviews, preferring the anonymity of a group discussion where I can sit inconspicuously at the back of the room. To be honest, I prefer my own company, reading a classic British novel, curled up in a chair in the campus library, not sitting, twitching nervously in a colossal glass and stone edifice. You've been writing stories for 35 years, Ray. Look, a 5-year-old could pass this writing quality. I roll my eyes at myself. Get a grip, Steele. Judging from the building, which is too clinical and modern, I guess Gray is in his 40s. Fit, tanned, fair-haired, to match the rest of his personnel. Another elegant, flawlessly dressed blonde comes out of a large door to the right. You know what? There's not enough men already in this book. I am calling sexism on E.L. James. All the women are not meeting normal standards of women, and there's no men. Sexism. Alright, let's see. What is it with all the immaculate blondes? It's like Stefford here. Taking a deep breath, I stand up. Miss Steele, the latest blonde, asks. Yes, I croak and clear my throat. Yes. There, that sounded more confident. Mr. Gray will see you in a moment. May I take your jacket? Oh, please. I struggle out of the jacket. Have you been offered any refreshment? No. Oh dear, is blonde number 1 in trouble? Blonde number 2 frowns and eyes the young woman at the desk. Would you like tea, coffee, water? She asks, turning her attention back to me. A glass of water, thank you, I murmur. Olivia, please fetch Miss Steele a glass of water. Her voice is stern. Olivia scoots up and scurries to the door the other side of the foyer. My apologies, Miss Steele. Olivia's our new intern. Please be seated. Mr. Gray will be another 5 minutes. Will there be live reenactments? No, I don't think I'm going to be reenacting this. Olivia returns with a glass of ice water. Here you go, Miss Steele. Thank you. Blonde number 2 marches over to the large desk, her heels clicking and echoing on the sandstone floor. She sits down, and they both continue their work. Perhaps Mr. Gray insists on all his employees being blonde. I'm wondering idly if that's legal. When the office door opens and a tall, elegantly dressed, attractive African-American man with short dreads exits. I have definitely worn the wrong clothes. He turns and says through the door, "Golf this week, Gray." I don't hear the reply. He turns, sees me, and smiles, his dark eyes crinkling at the corners. Olivia has jumped up and called the elevator. She seems to excel at jumping from her seat. She's more nervous than me. If you want to try and convince Ishtar or Wren to do interpretive dance to recreate some of these scenes, you're going to have to talk to them. You can bring it up on Tuesday on MSNBC. Good afternoon, ladies, he says as he departs through the sliding door. Mr. Gray will see you now, Miss Steele. Do go through. Blonde number 2 says. I stand rather shakily, trying to suppress my nerves. Gathering up my backpack, I abandon my glass of water and make my way to the partially opened door. How's it going, Wren? Speaking of Wren, lady, see, damn alien, she's right there. You can ask her yourself. You don't need to knock, just go in. She smiles kindly. I push open the door and stumble through, tripping over my own feet and falling headfirst into the office. Double crap, me and my 2 left feet. I am on... Wait, let me put some emphasis on that. Ishtar says my happy ass is barely able to walk in a straight line without tripping. Dance isn't happening. Double crap! Me and my 2 left feet! I'm on my hands and knees in the doorway to Mr. Gray's office, and gentle hands are around me, helping me to stand. I am so embarrassed. Damned my clumsiness. I have to steel myself to glance up. Holy cow! He's so young. Miss Kavanaugh! He extends a long-fingered hand to me once I'm upright, because he's a vampire. I'm Christian Grey. Are you all right? Would you like to sit? So young and attractive. Very attractive. He's tall, dressed in a fine grey suit, white shirt, and black tie with unruly dark copper-coloured hair and intense, bright grey eyes that regard me shrewdly. It takes a moment for me to find my voice. I don't think it gets any better from here. Actually, I mutter, if this guy is over 30, then I'm a monkey's uncle. In a daze, I place my hand on his and we shake. As our fingers touch, I feel an odd, exhilarating shiver run through me. I withdraw my hand hastily, embarrassed. Must be static. I blink rapidly, my eyelids matching my heart rate. Oh, I'm sorry, damn alien. They both turned you down. I didn't volunteer them for things. I said you had to talk to them. Miss Kavanagh is indisposed, so she sent me. I hope you don't mind, Mr. Grey. And you are? His voice is warm, possibly amused, but it's difficult to tell from his impassive expression. He looks mildly interested, but above all, polite. Anastasia Steele. I'm studying English literature with Miss Kavanagh at WSU Vancouver. I see, he says simply. I think I see the ghost of a smile in his expression, but I'm not sure. Well, I will Big T says, wait, did I hear correct? Wren and Ishtar dance? When will that happen? As soon as I can convince them to do it. Let's see. Would you like to sit? He waves me towards an L-shaped white leather couch. I have a question. Why is she describing all the goddamn furniture and architecture? Does can she not let the person who's reading this get their own imagination going of what the office looks like? You don't do that. You gotta let the mind kind of wander, you know? His office is way too big for just one man. That's what she said. In front of the floor-to-ceiling windows, there's a modern dark wood desk that 6 people could comfortably eat around. It matches the coffee table by the couch. Everything else is white, ceiling, floors, and the walls, except for the wall by the door, where a mosaic of small paintings hang, 36 of them arranged in a square. They are exquisite, a series of mundane, forgotten objects painted in such precise detail they look like photographs. Displayed together, they are breathtaking. No one gives a good goddamn about that. Anything about that. Are these pictures going to play any important part in this story? From what I remember of what I've heard about this is nothing but her getting dominated by someone who's a bastard and doesn't understand what BDSM lifestyle is about. A local artist. Truton, says Grey when he catches my gaze. They're lovely, raising the ordinary to extraordinary, I murmur, distracted both by him and the paintings. He cocks his head to one side and regards me intently. I couldn't agree more, Miss Steele, he replies, his voice soft, and for some inexplicable reason, I find myself blushing. Apart from the paintings, and the rest of his office is cold, clean, and clinical. I wonder if it reflects the personality of the Adonis who sinks gracefully into one of the white leather chairs opposite me. Oh, he's an Adonis, is he? I shake my head, disturbed at the direction of my thoughts, and retrieve Kate's questions from my backpack. So because he's an Adonis, she's getting a little, well, let's just say she could probably drown a toddler in her panties right about now. Next, I set up the digital recorder and am all fingers and thumbs, dropping it twice on the coffee table in front of me. Mr. Grey says nothing, waiting patiently, I hope, as I become increasingly embarrassed and flustered. When I pluck up the courage to look at him, he's watching me, one hand relaxed in his lap, and the other cupping his chin and trailing his long index finger across his lips. I think he's trying to suppress a smile. Sorry, I stutter. I'm not used to this. Take all the time you need, Miss Steele, he says. Yes, this girl is waiting to be preyed upon. Do you mind if I record your answers? After you've taken so much trouble to set up the recorder, you ask me now? I flush. He's teasing me, I hope. I blink at him, unsure what to say, and I think he takes pity on me because he relents. No, I don't mind. Did Miss Kavanagh, explain what the interview was for? Yes, to appear in the graduation issue of the student newspaper, as I shall be conferring the degrees at this year's graduation ceremony. Oh, this is news to me, and I'm temporarily preoccupied by the thought that someone not much older than me, okay, maybe 6 years or so, and okay, mega successful, that was actually a word, mega successful, she wrote that down, but still is going to present me with my degree. I frowned, dragging my wayward attention back to the task at hand. With words like mega successful, you understand that this is definitely a fanfiction that was converted. Good, I swallow nervously. I have some questions, Mr. Gray. I smooth a stray lock of my hair behind my ear. Mega successful is between kilo successful and giga successful. You know, she already said she had some questions for him, and now she's telling him again. I would think he understands that she has some questions for him. I thought you might, he says, deadpan. He's laughing at me. My cheeks heat at the realization, and I sit up and square my shoulders in an attempt to look taller and more intimidating. Pressing the start button on the recorder, I try to look professional. You're very young to have amassed such an empire. To what do you owe your success? I glance up at him. His smile is rueful, but he looks vaguely disappointed. Feline, you're probably right. She got lost describing the architecture and ended up repeating herself. I don't know anyone who is this fucking awkward. Business is all about people, Miss Steele, and I'm very good at judging people. I know how they tick and how to incentivize them. I employ an exceptional team, and I reward them well. He pauses and fixes me with his grey stare. My belief is to achieve success in any scheme one has to make oneself master of that scheme. Know it inside and out. Know every detail. I work hard, very hard to do that. I make decisions based on logic and facts. He almost sounds like an early anti-SJW for that one. Anti-SJW, I'm sorry. It sounds like an early anti-SJW. The ones that just came off of the atheist crowd. Logic and facts. I have a natural gut instinct that can spot and nurture a good, solid idea and good people. The bottom line is it's always down to good people. Yeah, it's not like he didn't have that one, ready ahead of time. Yes, it would definitely be a fan fiction. Now, I agree with the fact that I'm hot, but the mega successful thing is not necessarily true. Let's see. Maybe you're just lucky. This isn't on Kate's list, but he's so arrogant. His eyes flare momentarily in surprise. I don't subscribe to luck or chance, Miss Steele. The harder I work, the more luck I seem to have. It really is all about having the right people on your team and directing their energies accordingly. I think it was Harvey Firestone who said, "The growth and development of people is the highest calling of leadership." You sound like a control freak. The words are out of my mouth before I can stop them. Oh, I exercise control in all things, Miss Steele, he says without a trace of humour in his smile. I look at him, and he holds my gaze steadily, impassive. My heartbeat quickens, and my face flushes again. Why does he have such an unnerving effect on me? His overwhelming good looks, maybe? Det, I have no idea. I'm bored, and I'm already 10 pages in. I'm only 10 pages in, and this thing is, god damn, 500 pages. Eesh. Someone shoot me now. Please, put me out of my misery. Why does he have such an unnerving effect on me? His overwhelming good looks, maybe? The way his eyes blaze at me? The way he strokes his index finger against his lower lip? I wish he'd stop doing that. Besides, immense power is acquired by assuring yourself in your secret reveries that you were born to control things. He continues, his voice soft. No, it's not how people flirt. This is how, like Sarah pointed out earlier, a doe-eyed little innocent gets, kidnapped and, trapped in a basement to be used for whatever deity, whatever person deems illegal or illicit. Do you feel that you have immense power, control freak? I employ over... The control freak part was in italics, so she thought that. I employ over 40,000 people, Miss Steele. That gives me a certain sense of responsibility. Power, if you will. If I were to decide I was no longer interested in the telecommunications business and sell, 20,000 people would struggle to make their mortgage payments after a month or so. Did we just catch like an outright mistake? He employs 40,000 people, but if he were to sell his business, those 20,000 people would be out of jobs. Well, let's mark that one down as dumb. My mouth drops open. I am staggered by his lack of humility, because I have never dealt with someone who's in business before, and I don't understand that they have to be hard-nosed like this to be able to function in the real world. I don't know. Yeah, we're on the top of page 11. I have no idea how people find this entertaining. We haven't even gotten to the sex stuff yet. This is just bad. Don't you have a board to answer to? I ask, disgusted. I own my company. I don't have to answer to a board. He raises an eyebrow at me. Of course, I would know this if I had done some research, but holy crap, he's arrogant. I changed tact. She put tack, T-A-C-K, but it's tact. As in tactics. Well, yeah, of course 20,000 more are hookers. They're all flawless blondes. And do you have any interests outside your work? I have varied interests, Miss Steele. A ghost of a smile touches his lips. Very varied. God damn it. And for some reason, I'm confounded and heated by his steady gaze. His eyes are alight with some wicked thought. But if you work so hard, what do you do to chill out? Chill out? He smiles, revealing perfect white teeth. I stop breathing. He really is beautiful. She wrote that sentence. No one should be this good looking. Well, to chill out, as you put it, I sail, I fly, I indulge in various physical pursuits. He shifts in his chair. I am a very wealthy man, Miss Steele, and I have expensive and absorbing hobbies. I glance quickly at Kate's questions, wanting to get off this subject. Yes, Ray. This author has spent 5+ pages to say you want some fuck. You invest in manufacturing. Why specifically? I ask. Why does he make me so uncomfortable? Because he's eyeing you like a lion does a gazelle. I like to build things. I like to know how things work, what makes things tick, how to construct and deconstruct, and I have a love of ships. What can I say? That sounds like your heart talking rather than logic and facts. Oh, really slapped him with that one, didn't she? His mouth quirks up, and he stares appraisingly at me. Possibly, though there are people who would say I don't have a heart. Now, why would they say that? Because they know me so well. His lip curls in a wry smile. Would your friends say that you're easy to get to know? And I regret the question as soon as I say it. It's not on Kate's list. You know, like everything else that you've asked him so fucking far. I'm a very private person, Miss Steele. I go a long way to protect my privacy. I don't often give interviews. Well, why did you agree to this one? Because I'm a benefactor of the university, and for all intents and purposes, I couldn't get Miss Kavanagh off my back. She badgered and badgered my PR people, and I admire that kind of tenacity. Wait. This multi-billion-dollar CEO of a corporation got badgered by a college student. Yeah, alright. I'm starting to think that cold was faked. I mean, to think about it, she was hunched over, grasping her stomach. I'm thinking it was more she got an abortion before she wanted to have this. I know how tenacious Kate can be. That's why I'm sitting here squirming uncomfortably under his penetrating gaze, when I should be studying for my exams. You also invest in farming technologies. Why are you interested in that area? We can't eat money, Miss Steele, and there are too many people on this planet who don't have enough to eat. That sounds very philanthropic. Is it something you feel passionately about, feeding the world's poor? He shrugs non-committedly. It's shrewd business, he murmurs, though I think he's being disingenuous. It doesn't make sense, feeding the world's poor. I can't see the financial benefit of this, only the virtue of the ideal. I glance at the next question, confused by his attitude. Do you have a philosophy? If so, what is it? I don't have a philosophy as such, maybe a guiding principle. Carnegie's, a man who acquires the ability to take full possession of his own mind may take possession of anything else to which he justly is entitled. I'm very singularly driven. I like control of myself and those around me. How's it going, Seer Gold? Yes, I am reading 50 Shades of Grey. Let's see. So you want to possess things. You are a control freak. I want to deserve to possess them. But yes, bottom line, I do. You sound like the ultimate consumer. I am, he smiles. But the smile doesn't touch his eyes. Again, this is at odds with someone who wants to feed the world. So I can't help thinking that we're talking about something else. But I'm mystified as to what it is. I swallow hard. The temperature in the room is rising. Or maybe it's just me. I just want this interview to be over. Surely Kate has enough material now. I glance at the next question. You were adopted? How much do you think that's the... God, she wrote this horribly. You were adopted. How much do you think that's shaped the way you are? Oh, this is personal. I stare at him, hoping he's not offended. His brow furrows. Yeah, this whole section is just sirens going off, rodding like a motherfucker. He responds with, I'm saying this because she doesn't... It's not even done like an interview. It's done like two people chatting, adding their, on... It's like two people chatting on Discord and then adding in their description of what they're doing while they're talking to you. My interest has peaked. How old were you when you were adopted? That is the dumbest question you should ask someone. That's a matter of public record, Miss Steele. His tone is stern. Crap. Yes, of course, if I'd known I was doing this interview, I would have done some research. Flustered, I move on quickly. You've had to sacrifice family life for your work. That's not a question. He's terse. Sorry, I squirm. He's made me feel like an errant child. I try again. Have you had to sacrifice family life for your work? I have a family. I have a brother and a sister and 2 loving parents. I'm not interested in extending my family beyond that. Basically, he's saying, if we fuck, you're not getting kids. Are you gay, Mr. Grey? He inhales sharply, and I cringe, mortified. Crap. Why didn't I employ some kind of filter before I read this straight out? How can I tell him I'm just reading the questions? Damn Kate and her curiosity. No, Anastasia, I'm not. He raises his eyebrows, a cool gleam in his eye. He does not look pleased. I apologize. Written here. It's the first time he's said my name. My heartbeat is accelerated, and my cheeks are heating up again. Nervously, I tuck my loosened hair behind my ear. This is how you know that this character, Anastasia, is supposed to be based on Bella? Because she keeps tucking her hair behind her fucking ear. Because that's something the goddamn actress decided to do in the movies. It's not in the books. I've read all 3 of the fucking Twilight books. It's not in the books. She doesn't do it constantly. It's just supposed to make her look mousy. It's stupid fucking series. He cocks his head to one side. These aren't your own questions? The blood drains from my head. Not just her face. Her entire head. So she should be passing out sometime soon. No. Kate. Miss Kavanagh. She compiled the questions. Are you colleagues on the student paper? Oh no. I have nothing to do with the student paper. It's her extracurricular activity, not mine. My face is aflame. Yeah, I read the first 3. The 4th one is bullshit. It was what's-her-name trying to make more money. No, she's my roommate. He rubs his chin in quiet deliberation, his grey eyes appraising me. Did you volunteer to do this interview? He asks, his voice deadly quiet. Hang on, who's supposed to be interviewing whom? His eyes burn into me and I'm compelled to answer with the truth. I was drafted. She's not well. My voice is weak and apologetic. Well, that explains a great deal. There's a knock on the door, and blonde number 2 enters. Yes, there are people on DeviantArt who write better than this. Mr. Grey, forgive me for interrupting, but your next meeting is in 2 minutes. We're not finished here, Andrea. Please cancel my next meeting. Are you fucking kidding me? That's not what happens. That's not how you run a business. You just cancel a meeting because you're having someone interview you that you now want to get your fangs into. Andrea hesitates, gaping at him. She appears lost. He turns his head slowly to face her and raises his eyebrows. She flushes bright pink. Oh God, it's not just me. Very well, Mr. Grey, she mutters, then exits. He frowns and turns his attention back to me. Oh, we're back to Miss Steele now. Oh, sorry, where were we, Miss Steele? Oh, we're back to Miss Steele now, quote unquote. Please don't let me keep you from anything. I want to know about you. I think that's only fair. His eyes are alight with curiosity. Double crap. Where's he going with this? He places his elbows on the arms of the chair and steeples his fingers in front of his mouth. His mouth is very distracting. I swallow. She's not saying that out loud. She's just thinking that, I guess. It's not so much as what she can do or what she likes to do. It's just kind of her thing. There's not much to know. What are your plans after you graduate? I shrug, thrown by his interest. Move to Seattle with Kate, find a job. I haven't really thought beyond my finals. That's not her answer. She doesn't say anything to him. I haven't made plans, Mr. Grey. I just need to get through my final exams, which I should be studying for right now, rather than sitting in your palatial, swanky, sterile office, feeling uncomfortable under your penetrating gaze. Oh, he wants to penetrate something. We run an excellent internship program here, he says quietly. Why are they all murmuring and speaking quietly? What's next? A whisper? Do no one talk normal in this fucking book? I raise my eyebrows in surprise. Is he offering me a job? Oh, I'll bear that in mind, I murmur, confounded. Though I'm not sure I'd fit in here. Oh no, I'm musing out loud again. 'Cause she's done that so much so far. No, we haven't gotten to that part yet, Ishtar. We haven't gotten that far. Don't ruin the surprise for the rest of the people. Why do you say that? He tilts his head to one side, intrigued, a hint of a smile playing on his lips. It's obvious, isn't it? I'm uncoordinated, scruffy, and I'm not a blonde. Not to me, his gaze is intense, all humour gone, and strange muscles deep in my belly clench suddenly. I tear my eyes away from his scrutiny and stare blindly down at my knotted fingers. What's going on? I have to go now. Or I have to go now. I lean forward to retrieve the recorder. Ray says this book is literature masturbation. The writer was a master of self-amuse. Yeah. Would you like me to show you around? He asks. I'm sure you're far too busy, Mr. Grey, and I do have a long drive. You're driving back to Vancouver? He sounds surprised. Anxious even. He glances out of the window. It's begun to rain. Well, you better drive carefully. His tone is stern, authoritative. Why should he care? Did you get everything you need? He adds. Yes, sir, I reply, packing the recorder into my backpack. His eyes narrow, speculatively. Thank you for the interview, Mr. Grey. The pleasure has been all mine, he says, polite as ever. Yes, a Dom should have a sense of humour. I have one. I mean, ask Ishtar, she knows. Yes, this book was a mistake, and the next 3 were also a mistake, Zeo Gold. As I rise, he stands and holds out his hand. Until we meet again, Miss Steele. And it sounds like a challenge, or a threat. I'm not sure which. I frown. When will we ever meet again? I shake his hand once more, astounded that that odd current between us is still there. You see, she shouldn't have put that. It's not easy to read, and it stutters when you try and read it. It's astounded that the odd current between us is still there. It must be my nerves. Mr. Grey, I nod at him. Moving with lithe, athletic grace to the door, he opens it wide. Just ensuring you make it through the door, Miss Steele. He gives a small smile. Obviously, he's referring to my earlier, less than elegant entry into his office. I blush. That's very considerate, Mr. Grey. I snap. And his smile widens. I'm glad you find me entertaining. I glower inwardly, walking into the foyer. I'm surprised when he follows me out. Andrea and Olivia both look up, equally surprised. "Did you have a coat?" Gray asks. "A jacket?" Olivia leaps up to retrieve the jacket, which Gray takes from her before she can hand it to me. He holds it up and, feeling ridiculously self-conscious, I shrug it on. Gray places his hands for a moment on my shoulders. I gasp at the contact. If he even notices my reaction, he gives nothing away. His long index fingers press the button summoning the elevator, and we stand waiting, awkwardly on my part, coolly self-possessed on his. The door opens, and I hurry in, desperate to escape. I really need to get out of here. When I turn to look at him, he's gazing at me and leaning against the doorway beside the elevator with one hand on the wall. He really is very, very good looking. It's unnerving. "Anastasia," he says as a farewell. "Christian," I reply, and mercifully, the doors close. And that was chapter 1, and I've been reading for an hour. This book is horrible, poorly written, and I don't think the woman actually understands that you don't have to describe in great goddamn detail everything about the area that the people are in. It doesn't work that way. You don't have to. It's not something that you need to do. The people, with their imagination, when you say it's an office building and you give the base deal of what it is, alright, there's a large floor-to-ceiling window that outlooks Seattle. Cool, we understand. There's a giant meeting table. Alright, we understand that too. You don't need to go into every detail, all the way down to the type of white leather couch that he has in his waiting area of his office. I hate this book already. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Fright Supremacist. I really am. Yeah, what happened? A moron met a creep because her roommate was sick. This can't this can't get any better, right? This is just going to continue being worse. Ugh, God. Yes, we are done. At least for now. The reason why I normally like to stream for 2 hours, but the reason why I'm only streaming for the 1 hour this time is because I do have a video that I need to work on, and streaming is distracting from that. So I will be recording and doing editing and things over the next couple of days. So hopefully, I will either have the video released tomorrow or Tuesday. So I thank you all for joining me. I hope I didn't destroy anyone's minds. I appreciate you guys showing up and listening to me cringe over all this and bitch and complain about the writing and the editing. And I hope to see you all next time. And like I said, you can catch me and Ishtar and Wren on MSNBC Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where we have all of the news that is not fit to print. And I can personally guarantee that the two beautiful redheads that I co-host with are not wearing pants. So I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and I will catch you all next time.